Live from the Dr. Jerry Henderson Radio Complex, it's time for Card Guys. And now, here's your host, Anthony Schulte.
Good morning. Thank you, Michael, for the intro as always, and welcome to Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk, Season 4, Episode 26. Coming up today, the Pistons have won a playoff game for the first time in 17 years. The Tigers are in the midst of a tough series versus one of the NL's best. And we preview the NFL Draft. I'm Anthony Schulte, and joining me as always is my man, Ryan Donnelly.
Hope your Wednesday is going well. Happy Card Guys official episode number 99.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Next, I know we said a couple weeks ago that we will be hitting our 100 episode milestone soon, and it's going to be Monday. Yep. Monday, April 28th will be Card Guys 100, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, Pistons won, Tigers are winning. And it's draft season. Let's get it to it, boys.
Let's have a good show. And also right next to me, Mr. Michael Rosenkranz.
We got a great variety for you today. Ryan sporting the pristine CMU hockey sweater.
Let me see if they can see the back.
Most likely.
Anthony wore this on the day that, Ryan, you were in the Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. And this, shout out Five Hole for creating such a beautiful, beautiful sweater for all of us. We all got one this past hockey season, so going to be so much fun to rep our university and wear that. Got a good variety of topics to discuss today.
Yes, we do. Let's get into our 3 stars. Michael, start us off today.
All right. I was hoping you would start with Ryan because I had not selected my stars, but no, that's okay. I can go ahead and start with this on the fly. Let's go my 3rd star, just the LA Kings. Putting up a 6 spot against the Edmonton Oilers in a game where a combined 11 goals were scored by each team. Final score of that game was 6-5. Ooh, I could go Philip Deneau as well because he scored 2. You know what? I'm just going to go with the Kings because he scored 2, but then everybody else was productive. So I'm going to go the Kings as my 3rd star for scoring 6 goals on the runner-ups last year in the Edmonton Oilers. My 2nd star, you know what? Let's go with Matt Boldy of the Minnesota Wild. He got another goal and assist. He had 2 goals the first game against the Knights, in which Vegas actually won that game. They came from behind 4-2. Boldy had the only 2 goals in that game. He got another one. So I think this is now his 4th point, because he also got an assist yesterday. I think he's got 4 points in the first 2 games. So he's been very, very productive for the Wild. Wild took down the Knights yesterday, 5-2. That series is evened up at a game apiece. My 1st star, who am I going to go with my 1st star? That is a good question. I want to go with the Piston because they won a game last night.
There's a lot of Pistons that are off the board.
I think
is Dennis Schroeder off the board?
Yes, he is.
I will take Dennis Schroeder.
He is. No, he's off. He's off the board.
Oh, shoot. So I
spoiler.
cannot take Dennis Schroeder.
I think 5 Pistons are off the board.
Yeah, no, all of the Pistons that did something are off the board.
So that is out of my control.
You can go Flaherty. He had a good game.
He did.
He had
you know what?
Ks.
Let's go Flaherty. He did have a good game. I think he went like 6 innings, gave up 5 or so hits.
2 runs, no walks, 9 Ks.
Yes.
Offense just didn't show up.
2
We'll talk
runs,
about that later.
No walks, 9 strikeouts. Yeah, we'll go Jack Flaherty as my 1st star. Great performance against the Padres. Just the offense did not show up for him. As Anthony said, those are my 3 stars.
Right.
All right. My 3rd star, I'm going with basketball, Paul Reed. Sure, the box score says 6 points, 1 rebound, and 1 block. But the production and the energy he came off the bench replacing Isaiah Stewart, which we'll talk about later on in the show, was impactful. So Paul Reed gets my 3rd star. My 2nd star, I'm going to go with Jalen Duren. 12 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, and a steal. Incredible double-double for JD. The younger guys actually stepped up and played really well in the playoff game, in game 2 on Monday, which again we'll talk about later on in the show. And my 1st star, I'm going to go with the Don, Luka Doncic, 31 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists and a block. He had 22 points in the first half against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and he ended up scoring 9 after that. So impressive stuff from Luka. The Lakers did get the win and tied the series. That will go back to Minnesota, I believe, on Friday or Saturday. Not entirely sure of the playoff schedule outside of the Pistons. But anyways, those are my 3 stars. Anthony?
All right, my 3 stars. Third star, Tobias Harris. In 43 minutes, he played 43 minutes. 15 points, 13 rebounds on 6 of 11 shooting. Just all-around positive player, plus 8 for the entire game. So playing the entire game and being a plus 8 player, you're contributing pretty well. Tobias Harris gets my 3rd star. My 2nd star, spoiled by Michael, Dennis Schroeder with 20 points off the bench, shooting 6 of 10 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, 3 assists along with it. Dennis Schroeder coming up in a huge spot, very clutch dagger 3 or dagger free throws as well. Just very clutch player on what day was it? Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, this week. On Monday. That's when we last played, Monday. But Dennis Schroeder gets my 2nd star. And my 1st star, it's no surprise. He hasn't been said yet. I'm sure Michael just assumed
he might be the card
gone.
guy's star, #1 gold medalist when we find out.
I would think so.
Cade Cunningham.
Oh, yeah. There it
And
is.
Mr. Donnelly groans from wherever he's watching the program.
Maddie's not Steph Curry.
On Monday,
it's not Steph Curry.
he had in 42 minutes, 33 points, 12 rebounds, only 3 assists. Shocking. And 12 free throws. What type of player is this? This isn't the Cade
Finally
Cunningham
getting
we
the
know.
SGA treatment.
Right. But he has shot 11 of 21 from the field. Superstar performance in MSG. Pistons take game 2. Those are 3 stars. I mentioned game 2. I mentioned the Pistons winning in game 2. And win they do. Snapping a 15-game playoff losing streak.
17 years.
In 17 years. 3 straight series you got swept. 2009, 2016, 2019, all swept. And finally, you avoid the sweep with a Game 2 victory on the road, taking home court advantage. First playoff win since 2008. I was 3.5. My brother, my brother, who is a junior in high school, wasn't born yet.
Wow.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Wasn't born yet. So that was the last time the Pistons won a playoff game. Great stuff. Emotional win on Monday. Did not think we'd be here after last season. Did not think we'd be here after we started the season 0-4. But this team is special. They're playing special. We're going to get an update in a couple days on Jaden Ivey's availability and how he's progressing through his injury recovery. I don't see it being a possibility, but there's always a chance that he comes back in this round. I say don't rush it.
Absolutely.
And you're not going to need him against Boston because you're losing to Boston no matter what you do. You don't have enough star power to compete with them yet. So I would say just keep Ivey out, but it would be kind of cool to see Ivey come back, think about it in a positive light. However, Pistons, they win their first playoff game. Cade had a great game. A lot of losing streaks being snapped as of late and this season. A huge season in the turnaround for the Pistons, and it also finally got that playoff win we've been yearning for so long.
Absolutely. To quote friend of the program, Omari Sankofa, if I could find the tweet, Pistons crushed just about all of their losing streaks this season. Just got to get Milwaukee now, LOL. So
I hate Milwaukee.
I hate Milwaukee too. So that's just a little tweet gag from Omari Sankofa, two-time friend of the show. Two-time. But anyways, I have 3 takeaways from this game, and you two have probably heard about my takeaways on my story. The first takeaway, Detroit basketball is back. First Piston playoff win in 17 years. First conscious playoff win, at least for the 3 of us. Maybe you were more conscious than Anthony and I was when the Pistons last won a playoff game. But I wasn't conscious when the Pistons last won a playoff game. But yeah, Detroit basketball is back. Number 2, all of these players are playing together. On game 1, all the veterans stepped up and the younger guys didn't really do that great. On Monday, everybody stepped up. The veterans played really well, as you mentioned. In stars, Tobias Harris, 15, 13, and 1. Malik Beasley, he had 9 points, but there were 9 impactful points. Dennis Schroeder, 20 points. He was the MVP of that game if it wasn't for Cade Cunningham with 13, 12, and 3. But all these younger guys stepped up big time. Duran, like I mentioned, Star, he had a double-double. Paul Reed, he was impactful coming off for Isaiah Stewart. Cade Cunningham, obviously, was going to find it eventually. Sar Thompson, although he did get ejected in the fourth quarter, he played really good defensively. I think our one stinker from the series so far has been Ron Holland. I don't think offensively
he played 5 minutes.
Ron Holland sucks. Anyways,
Tim Hardaway Jr. also in that win had 0 points and shot 0 for 8 with 6 3-point attempts. Asar Thompson had a stinker, 2 of 7 from the field, 5 and 5. And then Malik Beasley, another stinker, 2 of 9, 1 of 8 from 3. As you said, 9 impactful points, but still, we probably would have won by like 20 if everybody played at least mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of this box score here.
2 impactful points. Detroit basketball is back. Everybody's playing with each other. And my third impactful point is that we can play anywhere. It's hard to win at MSG in the playoffs.
That place is rocking.
If you play for basketball or if you play for hockey, MSG is so hard to play. And I was worried that we'd lose the first 2 games at MSG, but I was proved wrong with a 194 win at MSG. That place, like you mentioned, was electric. Oh my God, it was loud. Even Omari tweeted about it. It's loud in here. It's a hard place to play. Probably, and I've mentioned it on the past 2 shows. It's the hardest environment to play in sports in the playoffs in America, at least. But
I think one thing that I did notice is that when New York started to come back, we were up by 12. New York ties the game 94-94. The one thing I saw that we improved on was we didn't let New York regain anything. Mm-hmm. They came back, but we didn't let them take advantage of anything. And what happened in Game 1? We let them come back, and then we let them keep going. We let them come back, but we realized what we were doing, we fixed it, and we didn't let them take over the game. The Pistons have outplayed the New York Knicks in every single minute of this series except for 5 of them. Outplayed. Simply outplayed. And when you look at it from that perspective, the Detroit Pistons have a great chance to win this series. You have home court advantage. You have all the momentum going into Game 3 and Game 4. You have outplayed this team not only in the regular season, but in the postseason. If it wasn't for a 5 to 10 minute stretch of basketball where you couldn't make a shot and they couldn't miss a shot, you would be up 2-0 in the series. And I don't think people are talking about that as much. The one thing I wanted to see, and the one thing I wanted to see was improvement. And I saw not only improvement, but I saw us take a problem we had in the first game and rewrite it. And when it started to happen again, look, New York's a good team still. They're going to come back. No lead is safe, especially in the playoffs, especially on the road. But you kept your hold on the game, and you still ended up winning the game. That's all that ends up mattering. A positive I saw in Saturday's game was that we outplayed them the entire game except for that one stretch, and then we outplayed them for another 4 quarters on Monday. And that combined effort, I mean, I see the tides have already shifted in the Pistons' favor to win this series.
And Mikal Bridges doesn't have a clutch gene.
No, he doesn't.
No, he does not.
He's been poop this series.
Well, so you look at that jumper.
It's...
What did he do to his jump shot? Yeah, he still averaged 19 points a game this season, but that jump shot is ugly.
Yeah.
Yikes. Pistons looked like a completely different team on Monday, especially when they held their ground. And once New York came back, I got a horrible feeling. I was just like, This is where we're going to fall apart again. Mm-hmm. I can just already see it. Dennis Schroeder, though, just changing my mind with an ice-cold 3 to break the tie with 55 seconds. And now you see the Pistons starting to retake momentum. So it might be a little early to say this, but if the Pistons can not only win Thursday, but win Saturday, I believe is when Game 4 is.
Sunday's Game
4. Sunday's Game 4.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. If the Pistons can win both of those games on home court, they're winning the series.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. If they can go back to the Mecca where they already know how to defend New York and just play together like they were in each of the first 2 games of the series, I'd say a little more better effort on Monday, they're winning the series.
And if not, if they can't close it out in Game 5, they go back to Detroit for Game 6.
Yep.
Exactly.
They could win out at home, which I kind of hope
that would be awesome. LCA, this is 3 college kids' plea to you as resident Metro Detroiters that love our teams. Show up.
Not just
Fill
show up,
that
be loud.
place. Be loud. Be energetic for this team. Haven't seen this in the better part of 6 years in the playoffs, and you haven't won the playoff game in 17 years since 08. Those streaks are broken. Be loud at LCA.
The only problem
Need you
is
there.
it's a business outing because of look. I don't want to get harp too much on this, but the problem with playoff basketball in the modern age is that the common and the diehard fan have been priced out of these events. It is a business outing. It is a collection of the elite, if you will. There's no way for us 3 to be able to go to this game unless we win a giveaway. There's no way.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
And that's the problem, is you have fans that would not only appreciate the outing, but would be loud and contribute to that crowd. Can't go because people that could care less are going to be in attendance. It's just what annoys me.
Sure. I think, and I'm going back to Michael's point about being loud. I can testify. I can't even count to how many Pistons games I've either been to or worked at as an employee of the building. That place gets loud. Now that the Pistons are getting good, and like you mentioned on Monday's show, the fans will show out when the team gets good. Bandwagons, exactly. I feel like the Red Wings are the one team that has loyal fans, I feel like, which the loyal Red Wings fans are still pretty.
Sometimes they're a little too loyal.
Yeah, they're a little too loyal.
They are, don't worry.
But I can testify that place LCA can get pretty loud. And I went to the Wizards game, or I didn't win, but I was in the building during the Wizards game. I was in the building.
I was there.
I know you were. I was in the building for the Thunder game when Cade got ejected. And probably one of my favorite games of the entire year. That place can get loud. So pack the place. I almost said pack the park. Pack the pizza oven. That should be the mantra. Pack the pizza oven. Mm-hmm. Pack the pizza oven. Get loud. I want to hear the audio microphones, the on-court mics explode because I want Detroit to get loud. Show them your Detroit hustle, your Detroit muscle, your Detroit heart, your Detroit.
Okay, 2016 Pistons PR team.
Yes. Detroit hustle, Detroit muscle, Detroit respect, or whatever. I don't even remember what the mantra was.
It was all of those.
Yeah.
I think one last. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
One last thing before we move on to Tigers, because we're spending a lot of time here. You mentioned the bandwagons, and that reminded me of something I wanted to bring up on the program today.
Ooh.
The bandwagons are here. Yes. It happened with the Lions. I wouldn't say it really happened with the Tigers. It didn't really happen with the Tigers.
Well, because they've already had loyal fans.
Yeah. I'd say the Tigers fans are actually the most loyal in Detroit.
Yeah.
The Lions bandwagons, we've talked about it on this program before, are some of the most annoying entities in Detroit sports.
The bandwagons walking up to LCA.
The people that only support the team when it's good or because it's a quote-unquote trend are the worst fans in all of sports. Mm. It's happening with the Pistons. Never did I once think it would happen with the Detroit basketball Pistons, but here we are. It's happening with the Pistons, and it's absolutely terrible. Where have you been? Where have you been? It's the same people. I'm not going to name names, but there are people.
Names.
I'm going to try to keep this program as professional as possible.
We have 3 shows left.
We're too close to episode 100 to be name dropping, is what Anthony's saying.
But
that's fair.
There are people that completely drug me through the mud for being a fan of this team. That were complete and utter expletives because I was a fan of this team and completely whatted my fandom of this team for years. while we were a losing team, losing franchise, no direction. Why are we posting on our stories now? Oh, the Pistons are back. Let's go, Pistons. No. You hated this team 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. You hated this team when they were bad. You hated this team. And now you like them? I don't think so, pal. That's not how this works.
Okay, Seth Rollins.
But in all honesty, the bandwagons are inevitable when you're good. It's just it's inevitable, but that doesn't mean we have to like them.
Can I be honest? I don't see them.
I see them.
I
see
personally,
them.
I don't. The only people that post about the Pistons on my feed, at least, like our feeds are different, but the only people on my feed that post about the Pistons are me, you, Isaac, you, and that's really it. Like nobody from my side of town.
Maybe occasionally Tony.
And yeah, Tony.
Yeah, Tony posted.
He's
one
a bandwagon.
Tony posted one thing on Facebook.
He started liking the Pistons when he met us.
That is true.
He didn't. He only liked
Tony's
Tigers in the Lions.
Yeah, Tony doesn't even watch the show anymore. We don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah. But I think the only team I see bandwagons are the Lions. Like that's it.
I see the Piston band. I do.
I don't.
Because where were they? Where were they the last couple of years? I've seen some people. I've seen some rumblings. All of a sudden, the Pistons Instagram is full of supportive fans in the comments. All of a sudden, the attendance shoots up from 15 to what were we, like 10 or 11 this year? Like, I get it. You support the team when they're good. You only want to watch a winning team. You don't want to watch a garbage product. Sure, but that was mainly a directed message towards a few individuals that probably don't even watch this show.
I feel like I know who they are.
That you might.
I
We'll,
might.
we'll talk after the show.
Okay.
Anyways, the Pistons, they play tomorrow night in the first game in Detroit, Game 3. That's at 7 o'clock on Tint and Fidison.
Nice.
Fans Dual Sports Network.
Yep.
Take me out to my
Yes,
team.
I knew you were going to say that.
Okay.
So we're going to enjoy it. Pistons Game 3. Hopefully the Pistons can take a series lead, which would be fun. All right. Let's quickly talk Tigers. Yeah. Not much to talk about in regards to the Tigers. Since our last broadcast, they took down the Padres in what was a weird game, especially at the beginning, against San Diego, 6-4. Cater Montero only giving up 3 runs.
Sorry, that's Cater. I just catered Montero.
I mean,
I just pooped my pants.
I mean, yeah, but we still won the game.
Yeah, but he's still a horrible pitcher.
He's not the great. He's not the greatest.
Horrible. 3
strikeouts, only 3 earned runs. Hannafy picked up the win. 2 amazing innings of work, only giving up a hit and having 2 strikeouts. He's been very good this season. A season ERA of 1.54. Mm-hmm. And the boys were batting around on Monday. It was a good overall game on Monday. Well, 24 hours go by, and how the turntables, we go 3 for 30. Mm-hmm. Javier Baez had the best game on the team yesterday, followed by Dylan Dingler, and then Justin Henry Malloy. Mm-hmm. And then everybody else fell off a cliff. Disappointing game at the plate for the gritty Tigers, and completely ruining a incredible pitching performance from Flaherty. If it wasn't for that one line drive home run, I think, what was it, in like the third or fourth
by Elias Diaz.
Yeah, and Flaherty was pitching a gem that far. I think I jinxed it because I was sitting there eating my McDonald's, and I was like, you know what, Flaherty's pitching a gem. 2 pitches later, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Why did I say that? Like, Flaherty had a great outing, 9 Ks, 0 walks, a good outing through 6 innings. Just that one swing of the bat just kind of did the Tigers in yesterday. Mm-hmm. I'd be curious to see if he didn't give up that home run. You know, how deep would this game go? Because both teams didn't really bat well. It was a very, very pitching-oriented matchup. Padres 6 for 33, Tigers 3 for 30. Series tied up, going to the rubber match this afternoon. Who's on the mound for us? Is it
It's Reese.
Reese Olson?
Reese Olson.
Rosy Cheeks Reese?
Rosy Cheeks
Mm-hmm.
Reese.
All right.
Baby Reese. That's my sister calls him. Yeah, obviously yesterday it wasn't ideal. It kind of comes with the game. 2-0 was the final yesterday. Flaherty made one mistake, and that kind of cost it.
We lost first place in the Central.
Yeah, the Guardians took first place.
I hate Cleveland.
Luckily, we are a game behind, so we could, if we
We're
win,
half game behind.
half game behind. Yeah, but if we do beat the Padres today, then we take first place back. So I feel like that's going to be an all-season thing where it's going to flip-flop all the time. So just keep on winning games, man. Take the series against San Diego. They look beatable. I was kind of worried about that series going into it. I mean, the Padres are still a very good team. We have Reese Olson on the mound today, and then they have, I believe, let me take a look. Who do they have? Kyle Hart.
Who
Kyle
hasn't
Hart.
been
No.
the best this
Taking
season.
a look
I think
at
he's got
Kyle
like
Hart.
6 ERA.
He has a 7.71 ERA.
Oh, my goodness.
Gives up 13 hits, 6 strikeouts, and he has 4 walks. Reese, 3.52, 17 hits, 13 strikeouts, 8 walks. So it's going to be interesting today. I mean, Kyle Hart is the worst pitcher out of the two, but we'll see what happens. But taking a look ahead, we have the day off tomorrow, which the Tigers have not had a day off in almost like a week and a half. And we got the day off, and then we got another home game against the Baltimore Orioles. Taking a look,
That'll be tough.
at the Baltimore Orioles. Yeah, you said it. They're 9-12. However,
A little bit of a struggling start.
have offense.
They do.
The one thing they don't have, pitching.
And what's the one thing we have?
Pitching.
What's the one thing we're kind of lacking so far this year on occasion?
Hitting.
Hitting.
Offense.
Offense.
Very inconsistent, I think would be the right word.
Yeah.
Because there are many instances of games where we'll drop 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 runs, and then the next inning we can't hit a beach ball with a little Tykes bat.
I mean, taking a look at this pitching staff, their ace is Charlie Morton. They lost Corbin Burns, who's their big ticket J13 item. Little callback to
If you know, you
season
know,
3.
folks.
But
Oh, boy. I don't have enough sleep in my body.
One of
last
the
few
greatest
days.
comparisons of all time. Note the
but
sarcasm.
they don't have an ace.
I miss James Wiseman.
We're really bringing this back, aren't we?
James Wiseman, if he didn't get injured so much, he
This
would
is
be
a
such a good
Tigers-
player.
This is a Tigers segment.
The the front court of James Wiseman and Marvin Bagels.
Marvin Bagley. had a
Marvin
good game.
Bagley's playing playoff minutes, and
He
he's playing
is!
good. Hold on. We're taking a quick little diversion here for the Detroit Baseball Tigers.
Didn't he have like 17 points one game?
Yes, in game 1. Hold on. Where is he? Where's my boy?
We were going back to our old ways.
He only had one shot yesterday, and he missed it in 11 minutes. But before that, in game 1 between the Grizzlies and the Thunder, one of
they
the biggest playoff losses ever.
By the way, they lost by 50 points.
Doesn't matter. In 16 minutes, Marvin Bagley, Pistons legend, had 17 points, 5 rebounds, and went 8 for 8 from the field and knocked down 1 3. That is
man.
Marvin Bagley. Couldn't be happier.
Anyways, quickly before...
Wow, he had 25 and 12?
Oh, my gosh. Before I pass it on to Mr. Michael Rosenkranz, the O's they've struggled out of the gate. I mean, they have players. They got Ryan Mountcastle. He's probably one of the best contact hitting first basemen in baseball. Not Anthony Santander. I'm sorry.
Cedric Mullins.
Cedric Mullins. Ryan Mountcastle. Adley Rutschman, one of the best catchers in
Gunnar
baseball.
Henderson.
Gunnar Henderson, who's been guns a-blazing as of late. So they have some solid offensive pieces. They don't have pitching. That's the one thing that we could take advantage of. And we got home field advantage because we're not going to Camden Yards, which is a ballpark I really want to go to one day.
Me too.
Yeah. Got to take care of business to get to the Padres, and then you got to move on to the Orioles.
Padres
Michael, real quick.
won't be easy today. Chase Lee coming in for relief, got called up yesterday.
Good for him.
He played really well.
He played well.
He got out of a jam, bases loaded jam, right?
His very first out, I think, was a line drive comebacker right into the mitt, and he underhand tossed to first for a double play.
Yep.
His family was ecstatic. I mean, those are the moments you live for when your kid gets called up to the show in the MLB. But Chase Lee, for a first time, he pitched great. Now, today, Padres are going to be coming at you full force. Tigers have taken a lot of series over the past few weeks. This is going to be tough against the Padres. If you can bounce back and try and get a spark in your bats to keep going, you got to be able to do that. If you can win this series today, and I'm trying to remember who Cleveland plays against. today. I think it's
York.
the Yankees. So that's gonna be a tough game for them.
Go Yankees.
So, as much as that pains to say, us as Detroit fans, we're New York fans today.
Yep.
Not the Knicks. Oh no, not the Knicks.
Never.
The Yankees.
Wrong New York. Not
Brunson
the Knickerbockers,
sucks.
the Yankees.
The Yankees. So, Yankees fans today, and of course Tigers fans. Hopefully the Tigers can take that and continue on the momentum against the Orioles, because I think I heard from Jason Benetti that the Tigers have won 7 straight series openers.
Oh, I don't know.
Something like that. I got to check the games again, but awesome stuff. Find your offense today. Hopefully you can complete the series against the Padres.
And you know what's the best way to enjoy the NBA playoff? The best way to enjoy the Detroit Baseball Tigers as they go for the series clinching win.
What's that?
What is it?
The best way to enjoy both of those Detroit sports events is with an ice-cold, crisp Leinen Kugels.
Shep, take it away.
Nothing sexier than a girl drinking a Lining Kugel.
Thanks, Shep!
All right, that's a perfect way to segue into break, isn't it? Coming
Yes,
up
it
after
is.
the break, we have some football finally. I know you football heads are happy about that. We're going to talk NFL draft. That's also tomorrow night. Totally not the most important thing on television tomorrow night as the Detroit basketball Pistons play.
It interferes with the NFL draft.
Our playoff schedules interfere with a lot. But you're watching Card Guys Detroit Sports Talk. We'll be back right after this. Sports cards, signed jerseys, signed helmets, and more. Miller's Sports Cards and Collectibles is your one-stop shop for all things the hobby. Make sure to check them out down Mission Street in Mount Pleasant, right past Meyer. Miller's Sports Cards and Collectibles. Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk. Join Michael Rosenkranz,
Sports take precedence over academics.
I agree, but
Ryan Donnelly,
Corbin Burns, who is their big ticket J13 item. Scooble is with us. Scooble's our big ticket
Did
J1.
you just call Tarek Scooble James? And Anthony Schulte.
I have an issue.
You have.
There is no break. It's a constant grind. It's an unbreakable cycle.
Yeah, it's
As they navigate through the Detroit sports landscape. Live Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 a.m. on 101.1 The Beat in Mount Pleasant and at 11 a.m. on YouTube. Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk. Welcome back, Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk. Ryan Donnelly, Michael Rosenkranz, and Anthony Schulte here with you on this Wednesday, just a week before a very special day in this program's history. We'll get to that after.
2 days.
Well, a week.
Well, 2
week
shows
from
that are pretty important.
We'll discuss it
Yeah.
after the NFL draft. NFL draft time, folks. It's time to talk some pigskin. NFL draft, always a fun and exciting time. Here's the top 10 as of right now, before any draft day trades. Obviously, there's some drama with that second overall pick. Top 10 goes as follows. Tennessee at number 1. You got Cleveland at 2, New York,
What?
New England,
What?
Jacksonville,
What?
Las Vegas,
What?
New York,
What?
Carolina,
What?
New Orleans,
What?
Chicago,
What?
and another bear.
What?
Thank you. So it's the ultimate collection of the NFL's garbage heap right there at the top 10. And then here are your top 10 prospects, according to some dude named Scout. Abdul Carter is number 1. Then Travis Hunter, Travis two-time I like to call him. Mason Graham, Ashton Gianti, Tyler Warren, Jalen Walker, Cam Ward, Armand Membao, Michael Williams, and Colston Loveland. That's a Michigan man right there.
Same with Mason Graham.
Cam Ward, Shadur Sanders, Jackson Dart, Tyler Show, Jalen Milroe are the top 5 quarterbacks. If you need a quarterback, this draft is not for you. Not that great of a class
It's
compared to
better than last year.
I don't
Or
know if it's better than last year.
what was last year's again?
Caleb Williams.
Oh, never mind. Never
Jaden
mind.
Daniels,
Jaden Daniels, Drake
May,
My years.
J.J. McCarthy.
My years are all mushy.
Bo Nix.
2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 2023.
I don't
and
think
2024 mixed up.
Tyler Shaw being at number 4 really matches up with
Folks, I messed up. I got my years mixed up. Okay, I got 2023 and 2024 mixed up.
That's fair.
I'm
But
sorry.
yeah.
My brain's turning to mush, guys.
Yeah, I think everybody at this school's collective brains are just a collection of slime.
I need to sleep.
But yeah, those are the top 5 quarterbacks. Again, not the not the best class when it comes to quarterbacks.
No.
However, Ashton Genty, he is very good. He's probably going to go very high. Abdul Carter is an incredible prospect as well. The Lions, we're at 28, right? Mm-hmm. We're at 28. So who do you guys think the Lions are going to go with and why?
28. I think it will be a defensive tackle or an edge rusher. I personally hope it's Mike Green from Marshall, or I hope it's Kenneth Grant from Michigan.
I like Kenneth Grant.
I really, really, really want Mike Green from Marshall, though. Taking a look at his pre-draft analysis, it states, Green led the FBS in sacks through 2024. He explodes off the ball and transition from speed to power rushing the passer. His hands are active as he changes directions well. Green wins with inside and weaving moves, and he dips and flattens on the top of the rush. He chases with excellent effort and gets under blockers and shoots his hand defending the run. He's a former linebacker who gets to depth when dropped into coverage. I think he fills 2 pretty big needs for the Lions, which is depth at at D tackle and edge. And like his pre-draft said, he did lead the league in sacks with 17. So the Lions always go after the best athlete in the draft, which we kind of figured out in 2023 with Jahmyr Gibbs. I think the best athlete when it comes to your needs is Mike Green from Marshall.
Some people are saying Will Johnson, though.
I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna fall.
He probably won't fall.
He's gonna be a middle of the pack.
I think because I think he had a really good pro day as well, or combine.
He did. He had a very good pro day. Lots of Michigan men are gonna go in that first round. Kenneth Grant, Mason Graham, Will Johnson, Colston Loveland, as you mentioned. Those 4 guys are going to off the board in the first round. I guarantee it. Book it.
And what if it's not?
And it'll probably be the cold open for Monday.
It will probably
but,
be.
Another guy that I really like that if we do trade up for an early second round pick, I really want Jack Sawyer from Michigan from Ohio State. Sure, he might be a crybaby. I don't care.
He is.
He's a crybaby.
He can play football.
But he can play football. He's damn good at it. So Jack Sawyer is another guy I really want on my radar. I want to get your opinion on this.
Here's what's interesting to me about Jack Sawyer. The kid can play football. Do you think he's a little undersized? He's 6'4".
He's very undersized, but he's fast.
He's very fast, and that's what kind of worries me. He's undersized, but you mentioned it. He makes up for it with his speed and his athleticism. Mm-hmm. That's a big dude, Jack Sawyer. I would be perfectly okay with Jack Sawyer coming to the Lions as an edge rusher. You need somebody, we've always said, you need somebody opposite Aiden Hutchinson. And I don't know if we're bringing back Zadarius Smith. He's still been in the area. In contact with the Lions, so I don't know if they're going to try and do something with that, but hopefully we could see Zadarius Smith maybe back for another year.
Could the Lions move up, though?
They could.
They very well could.
I don't think they will, though.
And here's what's interesting to me with all these JMO news that's been going on yesterday. The cryptic messages about, did he follow the Lions on social media? Did he not follow the Lions on social media? And I think it was confirmed yesterday that he never really did and was posting kind of cryptic messages on social media that got the fans a little worrisome. But you have a 5th-year option to worry about for Jameson Williams. I don't think he's going to go anywhere.
What's that sound?
Yeah, no, I hear it too. Okay, I'm not going crazy.
Okay.
I can't
There's
hear
a
it.
weird sound.
Now it's quiet now. I don't know if it's 91.5 playing music across the hallway, but we could hear that from here.
Are they doing like early summit sessions or something like that?
No, I mean the light would be on and we'd see people in there.
That's true. Anywho, we're going to go back to draft talk. Jack Sawyer, good pick. Jameson Williams, I think knowing Brad Holmes, he wants to keep him around as much of an immature immature player. I think he is, and my dad especially thinks he is. He's very immature, but he's a deep threat for this Lions team. We need a deep threat, and if you don't pick up J-Mo's fifth-year option, I don't think I could see the Lions trading up to get a receiver. You would stick in the second round for a receiver.
Yeah.
And get somebody that way who's a known deep ball threat, because you need a deep ball threat if you don't pick up Jamison Williams.
There's a guy on my radar if we do draft a wide receiver, and that's Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State.
He's good.
Trey Harris could fall to Michigan, to the Lions. This is a decent wide receiver class. The top is Tataria McMillan from Arizona. Matthew Golden, he had a very good combine. He's going to be ranked 23rd. But I think if I want a wide receiver, I really want Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State. He is physical. He is a physical wide receiver.
You know what I'm seeing here?
What's that?
This dude said that instead of picking Kenneth Grant, the Lions should pick Donovan Jackson. Offensive guard.
Another Ohio State.
Donovan Jackson.
Yeah, offensive guard.
Donovan Jackson actually was a pretty vital component
over Kenneth Grant, though,
of that offensive line. I would argue, though, that Kenneth Grant,
he fits a bigger hole.
He's such a bless you. He fits, as you said it, Anthony. He fits a much bigger role on this Lions team. When do you ultimately have a guy who's like 350 pounds that can move and that can get to a quarterback?
You don't see it.
You don't see it that often. I would probably prefer Kenneth Grant over Donovan Jackson. I could see both because you want to continue to bolster that offensive line in case your veterans are going to retire, like Taylor Decker. He's probably on the verge of retirement very soon. Frank Ragnow's getting up there. He's probably going to retire soon. So you're going to have those replacements when need be. Donovan Jackson, I can definitely see for that. I'm still liking Kenneth Grant more than Donovan Jackson.
I've watched Kenneth Grant since he came to Michigan, and I love him. I think wherever he goes, whether it's the Lions or whether it's like the Chiefs or any late first round pick, he is going to be impactful for them. I don't like the Donovan Jackson pick. Like, it's not that bad. I don't think we should go after an offensive lineman like in the early couple rounds. I think we have a third-round pick. I think that's when you go after an offensive lineman because you got Christian Mahogany in the third round, and he's going to be the starting probably left tackle.
You can develop guys.
Yeah,
you know how to develop offensive linemen.
Because like Zeitler left, but when one of the guys got hurt, I don't remember who it was. I think it was Decker. Christian Mahogany stepped up, and he was fantastic.
Our offensive lines coach is a very good coach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literally, we heard earlier this offseason that if the offensive line coach either retired or left, most of these guys on our offensive line would retire because they love this guy so much, and he develops players really well. So I don't think we should go after an offensive lineman this early in the draft, but taking a look at a guy like Christian Mahogany, who we got pretty in middle in the road in the draft, we can develop offensive linemen for sure, especially because our head coach was a former tight end / offensive lineman, because they're basically just catching offensive linemen.
Ryan, you were going to say something.
I was going to say something.
You were going to ask something.
Oh, yeah. Who do you think's going to go number one? Ooh. I have my answer, but I want to hear you guys.
It's between these three I'm seeing all over the place. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. I think it's between those guys. When you're looking at Tennessee, you look at Tennessee and you look at the Will Levis situation, that's a dumpster fire.
Oh, yeah.
You need a quarterback. Is this the draft where you want a quarterback, though? Wide receiver and corner. Look, Travis Hunter, he's an interesting player. He wants to play both sides of the ball. It's kind of like you get two players for the price of one, but also you don't want your star wide receiver to go down when he's not even on the field, hypothetically. That's the risk that comes with it. However, Abdul Carter is probably the best player in this draft.
Yeah.
So if you're Tennessee, do you go best player? Do you go quarterback? If you're Tennessee, do you really need a wide receiver right now?
Yes, you do.
I think
not over a quarterback.
Not over a quarterback because they still have Westbrook Akine.
Yeah. And they still have Calvin Ridley?
No, yeah.
I thought they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they still have this. It's not like they don't have a wide receiver. You need a quarterback. I say it's between Cam Ward and Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
And look, all respect to Travis Hunter, but it's you've never seen it before where somebody is insisting on playing wide receiver cornerback, and if he can't, he's not playing. He's going to be a good player. It's going to be interesting to see, but it's when you're Tennessee, do you want to take that risk? I don't know. I think Tennessee plays it safe and either goes Cam Ward or Abdul Carter. But if I'm Tennessee, you're not going to be good next year. I say wait it out for a better quarterback prospect and take Abdul Carter. But that's just me.
Michael?
I'm thinking Cam Ward. Because the Will Levis situation, I don't think they could go on with it for much longer. The fans are tired of Will Levis because he's not a good quarterback. Cam Ward, I think, is the play. But you make a good point, though, about next year's quarterback class.
Yeah, I say just take the best available. Don't play with your food here. Just take best available.
This could be tough.
You're not going to. If you take Cam Ward right now, he's not going to make you a playoff team.
Right.
You're going to be in the Tank Bowl. You're going to be in the Tank Bowl, and you're going to be, fighting for the first pick once again next season, unless a miracle happens. Cam Ward's not going to do that for you. It's not like this is a Jaden Daniels type of prospect player that can carry a team that's like, they're probably going to miss the playoffs to the playoffs. You take best available, and you bank on next year's quarterback class and quarterback pool, because it's just not a good one this year.
You're swaying me. I think they're going to go Abdul Carter now.
See, okay, I want them to draft Cam Ward, but knowing them, their GM is stupid. No, because think about it. When they had Ryan Tannehill 4 years ago, he was still good. And guess who they drafted? Malik Willis from Liberty.
Yes.
And now you had Malik Willis and Ryan Tannehill, probably one of the best quarterback rooms on paper. And then the next year, who do you get? Will Levis. They just keep drafting quarterbacks.
And it keeps failing.
It keeps failing. Knowing how stupid the Titans draft room is, I think they're going to take Travis Hunter. They're going to go after it. Here's the thing.
They're going to go after the
You have
superstar
Westbrook
and the clicks.
Akine. You're right. You have Westbrook Akine and Calvin Ridley. Ridley might be gone after this year. You might extend Westbrook Akine, but you need that 1-2 punch with Will Levis, because I feel like they think Will Levis is working. That's what I think.
You make a very valid point right there.
I think you have to go. They don't have a cornerback. They don't. So when you have a guy who can do it on both sides really well in Travis Hunter, you need a wide receiver one, and he won the Heisman because of his wide receiver stats. And when you need a cornerback one, you have it in one player in Travis Hunter. Mm-hmm. So knowing how stupid the Tennessee Titans draft class,
I think we're thinking a little too logical.
I think
maybe
knowing how stupid the Tennessee Titans draft room is, they're going to go after Travis Hunter.
You can't really go wrong with any. If you pick up Abdul Carter, great player.
That's still a great player.
You pick Travis Hunter, you get a 2-for-1 special, and he's a superstar.
Cam Ward, he's the best quarterback prospect in this class. I want to see Cam Ward go to Cleveland, but they have Deshaun Watson
and
paying
Joe
him
Flacco.
the big butts. And what's that?
And they just signed Joe Flacco.
And they just signed Joe Flacco,
which leads me to believe that even if Cam Ward isn't available, they're not picking the quarterback.
I want them to pick a quarterback so they could develop under Flacco. Mm-hmm. So, this is so tough. It's so interchangeable, but I think the number one overall pick, based on how the Titans have drafted in the past, is going to be Travis Hunter.
All right, that's fair. That
is fair. I want to get your guys' take on one more player.
Okay.
All right.
Shamar Stewart. He's edge out of Texas A&M. He could be another guy you put opposite Aiden Hutchinson. He's not really known for his sack numbers. He had 4.5 sacks last 3 seasons combined, which is very, very, very low. But he's a very disruptive player, and he's got amazing size.
Well, you don't need a big sack guy.
6'5", 267.
You don't need a guy with big sack numbers. You don't.
Because Hutchinson's going to take care of that
Hutchinson's he's going to be getting the sacks. You need somebody that is a disruptor that can open up different avenues and different opportunities for Hutch. to put alongside Hutchinson. I think Za'Darius was the perfect guy to put next to Hutchinson because Za'Darius, he's not going to go and get you probably more than 5 or 6 sacks in a season. However, he is a threat. He is a good player, and he will take some of the attention off Hutchinson because if you still put all your attention on Hutchinson, Za'Darius is going to get over 10 sacks in a season. But nobody's going to do that because Za'Darius is a good player. I think the same thing could go for, what's his name?
Shamar Stewart.
I almost said Sanders.
Shamar
so tired.
Sanders.
I'm so tired.
Sorry.
But Shamar Stewart, I think he would be I would like that as a pick right there. Because if you're going to pick an edge rusher, you don't want somebody that's going to take away from Hutchinson and what Hutchinson does. A big sack guy, somebody that wants good numbers. You want somebody that's going to play his role and that's going to contribute to winning and contribute to that defensive line success, which is Aiden Hutchinson being an absolute monster with the sack.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't be too upset if we drafted Shamar Stewart. 6'5", 267. He's a big dude, and he's pretty tall. I think his biggest. I think really, like, we need to take the pressure off Aiden Hutchinson. We need a guy to help him out, help him get the sacks, and I feel like he's that guy. Sure, he put up 4.5 sacks through 3 years at Texas A&M, but I mean, sacks really don't matter. Like Mike Green from Marshall, he had 17.
Yeah.
He's like probably one of the best edge rushers I've ever seen. But Shamar Sanders wouldn't be that bad of a pick if we got him pretty early-ish on.
That's your take?
That's my take.
All right, well, that was a great question.
That was a great discussion.
Yeah,
It was a good discussion.
That was a great question. And the NFL draft, that is Thursday.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but mainly Thursday is when the top picks are going to be flying off the board while the Detroit basketball Pistons are winning a basketball game. All right, that's all we have for today's show. Thank you for tuning in to a choppy but good Card Guys, Season 4, Episode 26 on 101.1 The Beat and YouTube. We do have a couple announcements. Before I forget again.
It's my favorite segment.
I was about to forget, but before
Time for some housekeeping.
I love housekeeping segments. It's my favorite. I don't know why. I just love housekeeping.
We have a few announcements. Monday is Card Guys 100th episode. It's gonna be a special episode.
Clap it up.
Clap that up.
100 episodes. We've done this 100 times.
So many hours. And then a week from today, Wednesday, the 31st of April, will be the series show finale.
Yeah, 30th.
Yeah. Or 30th?
30 days in September, April, June, and November.
Okay. 30th of April is the series season finale of Card Guys. The final ever episode is 1 week away at this time. At this time next week, it'll be a very emotional time. But that is the series, the show finale, overall finale. Program finale of Card Guys. That is next Wednesday. Same time as always. So make sure you're looking out for that next week.
Might be a little longer because we have lots more stuff planned. Yeah. We're planning on doing Card Guys by the numbers for the final time. Yes. Also, I'm going to start getting to work on that this weekend. We got some speeches.
It's going to be
maybe some guests. We don't know entirely.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll
let you know.
Always do. But tune in Monday as we do celebrate our 100th episode. It'll be a fun one. We also talk Pistons. We talk Tigers. Maybe the Pistons are up 3-1 in the series by the time we next see each other.
So we could recap the draft as well.
We'll see what happens. That'll be on Monday. For my good buddies, Ryan Donnelly and Michael Rosenkranz, I'm Anthony Schulte saying so long, everybody.
Love you, Mom and Dad. And to those who celebrate, happy Star Wars Revenge of the Sith re-release date, everybody. Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team!
Have a great weekend.